Order for the Douglas County Board of Commissioners for Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Please notice that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is located on the north wall of the Legislative Chamber alongside an automatic external defibrillator. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business is our Board of Equalization. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Borgeson, Commissioner Boyle, Commissioner Kavanaugh, Commissioner Friend, Commissioner Morgan is absent, Commissioner Rogers, Mr. Chair.
Here. First, we have items A and B. A being the approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, and B being a call for a meeting and set Tuesday, October 15th, 2024, as date of hearing on certified assessment corrections reflecting the addition of omitted property to the tax rolls or increased value on property. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Rogers, second by Friend. Please vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Next, we have our resolutions, the first couple of which may merit some citizen comments, so let's take those individually, and then the rest maybe we could take in block. First, I'll look at item C under resolutions, certified assessment correction, reflecting a correction in values and approval. Do we have anybody that wants to comment on anything under resolution C and the properties listed under C? If not, we'll take that one up. Motion. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Rogers, second by Friend. Please vote.
Give me one moment, please. And I'm sorry, Commissioner, Mr. Chair, can you repeat the motion a second for me?
Motion by Rogers, second by Friend
Thank you.
for C.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Next, we'll take up resolution D, certified assessment correction reflecting a correction in the values and approval. And Mr. Goodwillie.
Commissioners, Mike Goodwillie, Douglas County Assessor, Register of Deeds Office. There are two items here that I think there will be people that wish to address. Let's start with the first one, 24241, Iglesia del Dios Viva Columna. This is a church on 565 South 24th. And these folks filed their exemption application late. Now, there's a window between January 1 and June 30 where you can file late, but your late filing needs to be accompanied by a request to waive the filing deadline. On half a dozen different occasions, we contacted the contact person for the organization seeking that waiver to make the application complete, and on several of those occasions, we provided an additional copy of the form and got responses that, yes, we'll get this back soon, we'll get this back soon. It never came back and the time ran out. So we ended up having to deny the application. The way the process works is if the parcel had been exempt in previous years and then they lose their exempt status, then you have to put a value on it and it has to run through the board, and that's where we are today. We had an appraiser go out and inspect the property and determine a value at $253,002, which candidly is about as low as he thought he could get. But I know somebody from the organization would like to address this issue, so I will stand aside and invite Pastor Jose. Now's your chance. I'll get you next.
Good morning, Board of the City of Omaha. I'm Pastor Jose from the church Iglesia del Dios Vivo, Columna y Apoyo a la Verdad, La Luz del Mundo. Mr. Mike said for some reason, we lost contact. The person that it was on the board of the church, the person that was at that time she's serving in the army, so for some reason she didn't have communication. So there was a person previous to her that she was on the board, and he had a stroke. So we were passing through some tough times in church. As you guys see, we are located by St. Mary and 24th, in which we deal with a lot of situations in that street. We try to get back to the community. We try to do our best, but sometimes we fall short in doing what we should supposed to do and taking care in matter of time what we had to take care. So in this time, we ask the Lord for forgiveness for what we did, but we also come to you guys and put this on your hands, and hopefully you guys can accept, an apologies from our church, for me being the pastor, from the board of the church, and hopefully you guys can grant us an opportunity so we could do this better. Okay? I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mr. Mike. I appreciate the appraisal that went to appraise the church. Thank you very much, and we are open for anything that the city wants to do in our church. We're happy to help you guys, okay? May the Lord bless you guys, and I know that God is going to be with us in this city, and God's going to continue blessing. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. And go ahead and stay close. We might have some questions for you. First, I will go to Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Buenos dias, Reverend.
Buenos dias. Good morning.
I'm sorry, I missed your name.
Jose Campos. Yes, sorry.
And are you the pastor of this church?
I'm the pastor of the church, yes.
Okay. I guess this is maybe Mr. Goodwillie, but I'll come back. The church had qualified for the exemption for some period of time?
They had. That's why we attempted to communicate with them so many times to
I understand.
to get them
But,
squared
I mean,
away,
for,
but yes.
For decades, maybe?
I think it's changed hands a couple of times, but I don't think that would be unfair to say.
Okay. So from what we understand from the Reverend, this is and this happens, you've been here long enough to see it happen over and over, kind of an administrative flub, because I'm sure that they're operating with limited resources and personnel. But nothing has changed in the status of the church itself, as far as you know.
To the best of our knowledge, it has not. My understanding from Pastor Jose is that they are doing some work on the inside of the church, but they're still using it.
Right. And Reverend, the mission of the church has not changed either. You're doing the same thing you've always been doing.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
And,
changed.
but for these administrative problems, you would have filed for the thing, as you have always in the past.
Yes, we always had passed for non-exemption organization. It's just that, we did it this time in the matter of the time that it was required.
Right.
Yeah.
With that, my inclination would be to, say, well, for this one time, certainly everybody makes mistakes.
Yes.
And you've made a good case for how this happened. And nobody's really to blame. It just happened because of circumstances and personnel.
Yes.
I think you have a good case for continuing your exemption. Just don't let it happen again.
Sounds good. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
I would make that motion.
Well, if I may do this, I had this conversation to give Commissioner heads up, Commissioner Garcia heads up that Pastor Jose would like to speak today. And that is, you're probably out of time to do this by virtue of granting an exemption. And what'll happen is the Department of Revenue reviews exemptions. They're likely to file an appeal on this one because it's so out of time. And now you've gotten these folks into kind of a jackpot with a Turk appeal. If it were me, my suggestion might be to set the value at some sort of minimal amount that doesn't put it on the radar screen in that fashion.
Do you have an amount in mind?
I don't.
Would a nominal amount of $100 work?
I'm not going to argue very hard against that.
Could we amend it to make it $100?
Seconders okay with that? All right.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
We have a motion to put a nominal amount of a $100 assessment on the church, considering the circumstance of the missed application. And then, Mr. Goodwillie, then for the coming year, they could apply to regain that exemption. Is that correct?
Absolutely. In fact, exemption season is coming right up. We will be sending out a letter to people that we have in our system saying, hey, guess what, guys? It's time to file. We usually send that out the early part of November. To be on time, you got to file the 31st. For 25, you got to file before December 31st of 2024. So yes,
Got it, thank you.
please file on time.
I will.
We do have a motion and a second on the table. Commissioner Borgerson? Oh, you good? Okay, very good. Any questions or comments on the motion on the table to provide a nominal assessment of $100 for this year, knowing that they can regain their exemption for next year? Larry, do you have a comment on this?
Larry Storr, 5015 Lafayette Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska, 68132. This is a wonderful opportunity for me today because there are some people in the audience that are studying civics. But it was 1 year ago yesterday that I stood here to protest the tax exemption for an Islamic center. As far as I know from all my reading and a lot of my friends and things Islamic centers are anti-American, they're anti-Jew.
Larry, that's not the topic at the moment. We're talking about
Well,
this
no,
church.
wait a minute. Excuse me.
So
Don't
keep it
interrupt
germane
me.
to the church.
This is my,
Keep it germane to the church.
if you're rejecting this man's,
Well, I'm not going to let you talk anti-Islam hate at this meeting. If you want to talk about Iglesia de Dios Vivo at the address specified and keep it germane to that, then you can speak.
Sit down.
these young people here are watching you deny something for this church.
We're not denying
Give
it.
it to an Islamic center? I
Sit
think
down.
that's probably in the face of a lot of those young people standing behind you.
If we had a similar situation with a mosque, I'm sure we would do the same, given the circumstance of the misfiling. So I disagree with that assessment as well. Any other comments or questions on this topic? If not, we have a motion and a second, and we'll go ahead and vote.
All right, motion to set the property's 2024 value at a total of $100, pass 6-0.
Thanks.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
That completes item D.
No,
Well,
there's,
yeah.
Commissioner,
Sorry about
there's
that.
one more.
Go ahead.
It's item 24244. This is a parcel that was purchased by a private entity from the city of Omaha. Because it had been exempt as city-owned, we're putting a value on it. Candidly, when we did that, the value we proposed is too high by a significant amount. We did not take full account into the characteristics of the property. Apparently, it's quite sloped, and the drainage is quite an issue. And so I think the owner of the property would like to address that. And so I think we should give him the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Goodwillie.
How can I show this?
Can someone help him?
24244.
He wants to put that up.
On your Karen.
Like that?
It's supposed to go over here. I'm not sure why it just shut down.
Okay. Good morning.
Morning.
My name is Richard Secor. I'm with Cushman Wakefield Lund Company. Back in 2000, I came across a drainage ditch at 144th and Oakview Drive, and there was a sign on it that said, "Coming soon, office building." And I called on the sign and talked to a fellow by the name of Terry Peterson, who was planning to build an office building there, and I said, "I don't think you should build an office building there. I think you should build a little strip center, and let's be joint venture partners." And long story short, we became joint venture partners, and I developed with Terry this retail strip. It's about 13,000 square feet. And the lot area kind of corresponded to everything kind of north of this red diagonal line. And the floor elevation between the shopping center and the area to the west, which is a big drainage outlot, is about, the difference is about 33 feet in elevation, okay? So we built the center, and it came online in 2002, and I discovered I had a parking problem because I had a tenant that needed additional parking. So what I did was I entered into a land lease with Union Pacific Railroad for this piece here, and UP and I thought too that the UP piece probably also included this sliver here. And for 20 years, I was leasing this area from Union Pacific Railroad, and that lease came up at the of April of this year. And so I approached UP and I said, "Can I buy that piece?" And they said, "Sure." So in my discovery in terms of how to address zoning and how to integrate this piece for zoning purposes with my piece, I was working with the city on how to go about zoning because I wanted to make sure this piece was going to get zoned before I bought it from UP, and I wanted to match my shopping center zoning. What the city discovered was that the city owned this middle sliver piece. Okay, this middle sliver piece is about 7,000 square feet. This Union Pacific piece is about 4,500 square feet. So I entered into purchase agreements with Union Pacific to buy this sliver and the city of Omaha to buy this sliver. Had both pieces appraised by Kevin Kroger from Valuation Services, and he essentially deemed that the UP piece was worth about $7.50 per square foot. I ended up buying the piece for $8.25 from UP. He also deemed that this city parcel was worth $7.50 a foot to match the UP piece, but he said that there's only about 2,000 square feet, about 1/3 of the area of this 7,000 feet that's really usable, okay? And you can see that I have this parking lot built underneath the city parcel, the triangular piece here. I mentioned that the fall from the floor elevation of the shopping center is 33 feet from here to here. From this south corner area, it falls about 14 feet to here, and it falls about another 5 feet as you go southwest, and this is fairly flat, but it's really undevelopable. It's not usable, okay? So I would continue to maintain that the real usable square feet for evaluation purposes is only 2,000 square feet associated with this city piece. I bought the piece for $15,000, $750 a foot or so. Mike and his staff have determined the value of the UP piece to be about roughly $9 per square foot, and I have no issue if the assessor wants to address a similar value for this 2,000 square foot area to match the UP piece. I don't think there's really any value associated with this north 5,000 square feet area. So I would maintain that the value of my piece is for assessment purposes would be closer to $15,000, which is what the city agreed to in the way of a sale agreement, and that's what I bought it for.
We'll go to Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Thank you. Thanks for this. Kind of an interesting question. So you've had this arrangement with UP for how long?
20 years.
And the parking lot's been there for how long?
About 20 years.
And I'm sure your lawyers have talked to you about concept of adverse possession, that if you occupy something openly and notoriously for a long period of time, you can.
I never went there, but I was kind of aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you completed the sale ultimately with the city, so.
Yes. Yeah, just in August.
Mr. Secor, can you step towards the
Sorry.
microphone?
Yeah,
Thank
in
you.
August 1st, we closed with the city.
Okay. And so heretofore, you were paying on what you thought was the whole piece of property, correct?
land rent to Union Pacific.
But I mean, for tax purposes, you were paid on the whole piece of property?
Well, we are paying taxes based upon this lot associated with the shopping center. UP's piece was exempt, and I was paying on a land lease with them. I've never paid real estate taxes associated with this area.
Okay. Mr. Goodwillie, could you
The
enlighten us on
UP
that?
piece wasn't exempt, but with things like railroads and public service entities and telecommunications companies, the state of Nebraska assesses those as part of sort of a business value of everything that's in Douglas County. So when UP gets assessed, it's in there. It's not broken out specifically, but their assets are all part of that. So yes, there were taxes being paid on the parcel by UP, but it wasn't the way taxes get broken out for your house or my house or Mr. Secor.
Sure, but for assessment purposes, I mean, it sounds like nobody was really aware of this Omaha sliver.
No, if it's the city of Omaha, well, that would have been, yeah, that probably would have been exempt as city-owned anyway. So what you had was property that either was centrally assessed and not assessed locally in the normal fashion, or it would have been exempt as governmentally owned. So yes, for a long time, this thing really didn't have a property tax process that's normal.
Okay. So ownership of the entire parcel passes from UP and the city of Omaha to Lund Wakefield when? If you know.
I closed on the UP piece like June 18th of this year.
Okay.
And I closed on the city piece August 1 of this year.
Yeah, that sounds right, this summer.
And was it appraised by the assessor, register of deeds? I may have to come back to.
Not before it was purchased, because.
No, subsequent to the purchase.
Subsequently, we have recommended a value of $66,000, which I don't think would be unreasonable were it not for the conditions of much of this particular parcel.
Okay. And you're asking for a valuation of what?
Closer to $15,000, which is a similar price I paid for the Union Pacific piece on a pro rata basis. So I paid eight and a quarter a foot for the UP piece, which is about $37,000. I paid $750 a foot for the city piece,
Which is
which
what?
which was the appraised value,
Which was totals to what?
$15,000.
So 37 and 15, 50 some thousand.
Yeah, for both parcels, roughly $52,000, something like that.
And they're saying 60, I mean, would the purchase value be accurate?
He's saying $66,000 just for this.
Oh, just for the
Sliver,
one piece?
yeah.
Not for the whole thing?
And had that,
Milford, start a second
Yeah,
round.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
sure.
We can start a second round for Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Just, I think where we erred is in treating that green portion that runs to the left from the edge of the parking lot as something that had the sort of development potential that would merit that sort of value. As an aside, Mr. Secor was saying he thought $9 a square foot might not be unreasonable for the usable portion, times 2,000 square feet is $18,000.
Okay. So based on that, would you have a ballpark of an adjustment?
I suppose anywhere between 15.3 and 18 is in the ballpark, because 15.3 is actually the amount that is on the real estate transfer statement.
And would that be reasonable?
Yeah, I'm good with that, and that would be very consistent with what Mike's opinion of value is for this parcel, because I think you said it was around $42,000, which is about $9 a foot.
I think that's what we had it at, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it would be consistent.
Okay. I guess if there's a consensus on that, then maybe that would be a motion I'd make.
Can you restate the amount for me, Commissioner Kavanaugh?
Mr. Goodwillie, you're saying 15?
No. The purchase price was 15.3.
Okay.
$9 a square foot, which is consistent with that lower parcel.
Yeah,
Times the 2,000 usable square feet is $18,000.
18,000.
Motion set at 18,000.
Yes.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Boyle. Questions or comments on this motion? If not, we'll vote.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
We're good?
Thank you.
Motion passes 6-0, and Mr. Chair, we do need to take up the other items on D.
On
as well.
D, yep. So the remaining items on D, is there any questions or comments on the remaining items on D? If not, we'll vote for the remainder of D. Motion approved by Rogers. Second by Mike, or excuse me, by Friend. And then we'll vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That takes us to items E through G on resolutions, which I think we are safe to vote in block if the board desires. Through G, you mean? Yep. Motion to take E through G by Rogers. Second by Borgeson. Any comments or questions? If not, we'll vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. We do have one protest item, item H, protest of Form 425 decision at the address stated on the final agenda there. Mr. Clerk, did you have context on this item?
Yeah, Dan Esch, Douglas County Clerk. So I know it's a very small difference, but it's actually a value that both the homeowner and the referee agree to. Basically, this person filed they protested their Form 425 decision. They had until September 9th to do so. So they got it in by September 9th. It's just kind of one of those things where we didn't get it to the referee until, early last week, late the week before. And this homeowner basically just submitted documentation showing that they had about $2,600 more in damage than originally submitted. So they were just asking for a slight adjustment down to the I didn't bring my paperwork in front of me, but yeah, 334, 600, I believe it is. So
Yep.
Anyway, small difference, but it is one that both it is one the homeowner asked for and the referee agreed to. So just wanted to give some clarification on that.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Was the will of the board?
Property and adjourn.
Motion to approve the recommended value of 334,600 and also to adjourn, second by Boyle. Questions or comments on this item? If not, we'll vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That concludes Board of Equalization. We'll now jump into Board of Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Borgeson.
Present.
Commissioner Boyle. Commissioner Kavanaugh. Commissioner Friend.
Here.
Commissioner Morgan is absent. Commissioner Rogers. Mr. Chair.
Here. All right, so that our friends do not wait too long, we're going to go ahead and jump into presentation, which is the YCLE group from UNO. So we shall call up Val to introduce.
Val McPherson, 6415 Glenwood Road, Omaha, Nebraska. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
It is once again my pleasure to present a delegation of young leaders from Southeast Asia, 11 different countries, the 10 ASEAN countries plus Timor-Leste. As some of you know, I have been bringing a YCLE group to you now. This is the 10th year. And it doesn't look like I'll be retiring anytime soon. UNO was just awarded another 3-year grant to once again host 2 YSILI delegations per year. So, like it or not, I'm going to be on your agenda, I think, for a while yet. I want to particularly thank Commissioner Garcia for meeting with the delegation this morning, giving them an introduction to the county, and for answering their questions. It is now my distinct pleasure to let each of these young leaders who were selected by the U.S. Department of State because of not only the leadership they've shown, but because of their potential to be great leaders. It's my pleasure to allow them to introduce themselves to you at this time.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a fellow from Laos, Miss Namphon Manvilai. I'm really proud and love to create youth-led activity to support our youth in our society to make something that effective for our community, and let's support them to fight to achieve their potential, because no one will never ever know our limit, our potential until we try. I believe that the youth in today will be the adult in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Board of Commissioners. My name is Thidachan Kamanichan. I'm also from Laos. I have been working with local government for 3 years. My office is Provincial Foreign Affairs Office. So what interests me that bring me here is first of all, I'm the first one from the family who can come to the United States, and that's very honored to be here. And I want to learn from the land of democracy on how they do for themselves and they give back to the community. So I would learn and utilize what I know here with my community, especially with the youth, because I believe that they are the one who set the futures for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, mabuhay. I am Sayriz Acaleos from the Philippines. I actually work for a nonprofit where I started an online platform which provides, up until now, free mental health and psychosocial support to thousands of Filipino youth and children already. And I went here, I joined YSILI because I wanted to learn how a community like Omaha is also handling mental health for their children and youth, and hopefully bring back to my country, because currently my work is at a national scale, but I want to lower that to communities, because in the Philippines there's a lot of remote areas that does not have access to internet, but I do believe that they still deserve free mental health services. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, peace be upon you all. I am Surina Sihawong from Thailand. So, reading activity for children with disability is small things for children that can have a big impact for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hello everyone. My name is Nyuto Aung from Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. One of the proudest moments of my life was I chose to be an educator instead of choosing other profession. Right now, I am a full-time volunteer teacher teaching English and history subjects to those students who do not affiliate with military center education in my country. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello from Myanmar. So I am Shondale from Myanmar, and currently I am studying like philosophy, politics, and economics. We call in short than PPE. And also at the same time, I'm working at the Young Researcher, so which is focusing on the relationship between China and our country, Myanmar. And also currently I am doing the research which is focused on young people views on our country. So I would like to learn the youth role in the CP engagement, and also how the system the U.S. government operates. So I would like to bring, and I would like to to learn some of the lessons from the United States, and also I would like to bring back to my community. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christelle Allison Tay, and I am from Singapore. Back at home, I am a social work associate with a youth mental health agency. I think the topic of mental health in Asia, some Asian countries, has not always been widely accepted. It could be stigmatized even. But after the COVID pandemic, I think these issues were all the more relevant. As a young leader myself, I think it's really important that such issues, especially in young people, they should not be afraid to ask for help. And what I hope to do is to really start an arts project for youths and really use expressive arts as a curriculum to help youths find their voice and express themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Board of Commissioners. I'm from Vietnam. My name is Vietnamese Phạm Hoàng Gia Hảo, and my English name is Olivia. And now I'm a research student in a research institution in Ho Chi Minh City. And I'm standing here bringing the issue of motorbike taxi driver in my city. And I really appreciate and I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I hope to learn and to get the knowledge to contribute to the issues, to solve the problem in my city when I come back to Vietnam. Thank you. Xin cảm ơn.
Thank you.
Right. Good morning, commissioners. Salam sejahtera semua. Ni hao, wanakkam, lei ho, hello. So that's 5 different languages, which are some of the common languages we use in Malaysia. So greetings to everyone. My name is Ang Zeng Jiet. My first name is Zeng Jiet. My first name is Zeng Jiet. My family name is Ang. So I'm from Malaysia, one of the YSEALI representative. So I born and raised in Kuantan, one of the humble small town on the east coast region of Peninsula Malaysia, which is about 3.5 hours car journey from our capital city, Kuala Lumpur. I was a medical student, just graduated from medical school 3 weeks ago, and I'm currently waiting for my medical internship, which will begin in a few months' time. So in the future, I wish to become a pediatrician, which is a child specialist. And besides this, I also have some other area of interest, which includes medical volunteering, policy making, as well as public health in general. So I would say as a future healthcare practitioner myself, I wish to do something bigger and more impactful for my community. So in which I wish to directly involve in healthcare reform on a policy level back in my country. And most importantly, I wish to aspire more youth in my country to take the lead in nation building, as well as to be more well-rounded. So last but not least, thank you for giving me this chance to introduce myself and my beautiful country, Malaysia. And once again, thank you YSEALI for providing me once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be here and to be a part of this bigger community. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the commissaries. So let me introduce myself. I'm Yuani Sialak, the candidate from Indonesia, and I'm an undergraduate student, but mostly I do volunteering stuff like teaching English to communities because the place that where I come from is really isolated and people there they don't have the good opportunity to learn, especially in English because it is so isolated. That's why I'm coming up with the issue about education in remote area for the future plan that I will help my people there by building my own institution about the schools. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Hello, bom dia todos, which means good morning, everyone. I'm from Timor-Leste. My name is Albert I'm a final year student. Feel very honored to step in this room. I came here with the aims to help in my community through the project implementation, which focus on education. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Dela Noftasari. I grew up in a small city in Indonesia. Currently, I'm pursuing my major is education for undergraduate degree. And I'm very passionate about the civic engagement. That is why I founded 2 foundations and lead 2 foundations. My first foundation is Happy Place Indonesia Foundation. It focuses on the
education and empowering disability students and also orphanage in Indonesia. And my second foundation is, the name is Basa Mudra Foundation, is focused on maintaining and preserving cultural languages. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Edo Primarianda. I'm from Indonesia. Currently, I'm working as a performing arts teacher at the International School in Jakarta. And also, I joined forces with Teater Keliling Indonesia Foundation as an art director to further preserve and share Indonesia's diverse heritage and also help talented individuals who lack the means to nurture their skills, especially in the arts. So we're collaborating with Ministry of Education and Culture, and our efforts span 34 cities, delivering over 200 performances to more than 2,000 students and volunteers. So our work not only enrich communities culturally, but also catalyze tourism and also economic growth. I'm truly honored to be here to speak in front of all of you and glean insight from the American experience about civic engagement by YSEALI program, and yeah, to inspire youth and share the positive change on the global scale. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good day, I'm Jen from the Philippines. So my advocacies are mostly focused on SDG 13 and SDG 3, so that's climate action and mental health, because I strongly advocate and believe that we cannot talk about mental health without talking about climate action. Because take it for example, like people in the Philippines, not even in the Philippines, like I believe that every person in every country, in every continent at some point will experience the adverse effects of climate change, and we don't really focus on the post-disaster mental health interventions. So I work with communities so that we could create and build a mentally healthier and more resilient communities. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Sawadee. My name is Tawan. That my sign name. I serve as a project leader of EdDeaf, Education for the Deaf, that got funding from U.S. Embassy Bangkok. So I'm here to learn more about sign language community here and come back to and develop a better education for deaf. Thank you.
Thank you.
So good morning, Your Honors. I'm Christian Rivera. I'm from the Philippines. Actually, I graduated with a degree in political science, and currently I am pursuing my master's in peace studies, major in conflict analysis, and currently I'm also working as a security analyst for a security firm. Growing up, I've never thought that I would be able to go here in America and experience the American dream. In the Philippines, back in the Philippines, I've always set America as a great example, a great leader in the international arena. And being here, I am very, very grateful for the opportunity. And I'm excited to go back in the Philippines to apply what I've learned here in the US. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to standing here. I'm the representative from Indonesia, and I was born and raised in the east part of Indonesia, especially in the small town. It's called Kefamenanu, located in the border with East Timor. So I'm still a student. I'm studying English education, and I love to do volunteer, especially in English and helping my community to learn English for free. And as Nelson Mandela said, like education is the great weapon to change the world. So that's why I love to contribute in the field of education. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patananchan Matgit. I'm a delegate from Thailand, and I'm currently serve as a product owner for a carbon credit company in Thailand. We are trying hard to implement carbon credits so that we could be able to help farmers and also people to lower the emissions in Thailand. And it's always been my dreams to come to America. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning. I am Anis from Sabah, Malaysia, 19 years old, and currently a full-time student in IT networking. And currently, I'm passionate in SDG number 4, ensuring clean water access in rural school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Ong Yi Song from Malaysia. I'm a PhD student with an interest in helping a community with disability, particularly those with communication disorder. My experience includes helping individuals with autism, and currently I'm focusing on elderly with dementia. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Good morning to you all. My name is Ngọc Gia Hân Nguyễn and I come from Vietnam. I'm currently working as a lecturer at a medical university, and it's a great honor for me to be here to speak to you all in the US. And it's my mission to come here to learn from you all and to come back to my community and to provide kind of sexual education and gender education for the children, especially the minority ones in the Central Highlands of Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Board of Commissioner. My name is Harit Sochat from Cambodia. I grew up in indigenous community on northeastern Cambodia, border to Vietnam. And I just graduated from university 1 month ago in international relations and diplomacy. During my university, I contribute a lot in volunteer to work with NGO to contribute to communities, particularly in youth. And currently, I'm working with Indigenous Association to provide the building capacity and human right, land right, especially to protect and preserve their identity, and at the same time, train on how to develop their culture. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning and xin chào you all. My name is Nguyễn Phang Chánh Ngôn and I'm from a very beautiful country that is Vietnam. I have a very big passion for education and youth empowerment, and I bring here with a sense of enthusiasm of a youth to you all. And I just want to share you what the most important thing that I always share to my young people in my community, that if your dream don't scare you, they are too small. And it's never too late to start, and like just stop being so fearful, because what you want is on the other side of fear. Thank you.
Thank you.
May it pleases the Board of Commissioners, good morning. I am Ahmad from a small country called Brunei. I served the country as a national athlete, whereas I competed and represented the country in some of the competitions. And I am also currently in my 5th and final year of law school with a special interest in criminal and evidence law. Thank you.
Thank you.
As well as good morning to Board of Commissioner. I'm Sri Lin Chiang from Cambodia. I am a 5th-year medical student in a university in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. And I'm also just graduated 2 years ago from Hubswell Foundation, which is Women Empowerment and Leadership. And currently, I've been a project founder and project coordinator of mental health awareness, which I've been doing for 3 years in 2021. Aim to spread awareness of mental health to high school and college students. And I believe that the project will help most of those students to get out of their mental problem, as well as stay mentally stronger and healthier. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Hello. My name is Kyla Talavera. I'm actually was born and raised here in Omaha. I attend University of Nebraska at Omaha. I'm an undergraduate in my 3rd year, and I've had the privilege and opportunity to be a student ambassador for these amazing individuals, and I try to help them in any way that I can. So thank you all for allowing us to be here and present ourselves.
Thank you for being here.
I would just like to say how glad I am that one of our 3 student ambassadors were able to attend this morning. They do an incredible job of helping us host these young leaders, and we really couldn't do this program without them. So thank you. One final comment. As I think you know, These are all visitors via the U.S. Department of State via grants to UNO. They've all gone through a vetting process, first with our embassies in their country, and secondly with the U.S. Department of State, and they are, as a result, now here. This is a similar vetting process to the International Visitor Leadership Program, the oldest program of its kind by the U.S. Department of State. And the alumni of that program, over 1,000 of them now have become either the president or the prime minister of their country. So we may have a future president or prime minister sitting in the legislative chamber today. Thank you again for being the gracious hosts that you always have been.
Thank you. I know we do have a few quick comments from Commissioner Boyle.
So welcome to Douglas County in Omaha, Nebraska. It's always nice to have groups of students here. I think hopefully by observing this, you've been able to see that politics locally isn't as crazy as what you see on social media in the US. Local politics too, this is really where decisions and actions are made that affect people in their daily lives. And so it's tangible. We can talk to folks in our communities and really effect change that way. As a physician myself, I do women's health, obstetrics and gynecology. I love hearing everybody talk, or most people talking about mental health or health education and education. I mean, all of those go together. Mental health, physical health, education, they're really the backbone of just any individual's lives. If you don't have a piece of that, you've got nothing. So climate change is just playing into that. So I can tell by what you're all studying and what you're talking about that your generation, you seem to get it better than my generation ever did. I feel like whenever Val brings groups of leaders like you, I think you'll be fixing a lot of the problems that my generation has not been able to do. And with that, every time he brings folks like you, and I get a sense of hope and peace for our future. So I'm grateful that you come. I hope you learn something, but we're just glad that you have a vision for the future that can be realized. You've got time. So I'm excited to have you here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. We'll go to Commissioner Borgerson.
I just want to echo as well the welcome to all of you. This is really a highlight when Val brings such an amazing group of young people to us. And just listening to all of the things that you've already accomplished and the things that you're interested in makes me ponder the fact that what you're interested in is what we're interested in. So we're not really that far apart, maybe geographically, but not with what our passion and desires are for a better world. So keep up the good work. I wish you all the best of luck, and thanks for coming to visit us.
Thank you. Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Thank you. Welcome, and you're a real breath of fresh air. As my colleagues have pointed out, we look forward to these visits every year from the young political leaders of the future of Southeast Asia. And I'm always curious when Val mentions that we've had before us prime ministers and heads of state. When I look out here, I'm trying to pick out which one of you is going to be filling that job, but I'm sure that some of you will. On our agenda today, and this picks up on several of you mentioned your interest in mental health, is an item, and maybe you can stick around for this, on our consent agenda, dealing with mental health in our youth detention center. So children who are in the criminal justice system, and our local public hospital is being contracted to provide mental and behavioral health services within the Douglas County Youth Center, specifically targeting the clinical and school psychological needs of detained youth. And so this might be of interest to you. We'll have a little discussion about it, but it's a collaboration between two local governments, the Douglas County Youth Center and the state of Nebraska's medical center to help the children that some would say are most in need of mental health assistance, particularly with their educational needs. Just because kids happen to be detained doesn't stop their education. And it's important that we have as much support for them so that they can get back in society. You know, we all make mistakes when we're young. Some of us make mistakes when we're old. But we want to help as much as we can because, like you are the future of your nations, this is the future of ours. And so if you're here, you might hear a little discussion about that and an explanation of what kind of services, mental health services, we're actually trying to provide to these children in our custody. Thanks for coming, and I look forward to seeing somebody here in the future on the media being sworn in as head of state of your respective countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Again, our thanks to Val, the staff, and all of you young leaders for visiting us today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That concludes our presentation section. We'll go back to section 1, minutes and claims. Oh, Val, final words?
Excuses, but the mayor's office awaits. So we'll be leaving, but I'll be sure and let them know that this is recorded and they can view what you were discussing later. Thank you again.
Thank you, Val. Going to section 1, minutes and claims, we have items A and B. A being the approval of minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. B being the approval of claims submitted for payment process through Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Roger, second by Friend. Please vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. We'll jump to our consent agenda, items A through G. Do I have a motion and second for discussion? Motion by Rogers, second by Friend. Questions or comments? We'll go to Commissioner Borgeson.
Is there someone here that can speak to item E, the agreement between the DCSO and university?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Captain Eric Sullers, Douglas County Sheriff's Office, 3601 North 156th Street.
So I'm sure you remember the long, sometimes contentious conversations about the crime lab
Absolutely.
and partnership with UNMC. So why are we doing this?
Well, about a year ago, myself and Amanda Neely, Miss Neely next to me, she's your Douglas County Crime Lab Director, started looking at cost savings for the county and realized that that UNMC offers a great product and we can send our forensic drug testing to UNMC for cost savings to the county, and we'll have a quick turnaround, a 2-week turnaround, and it's just economically, it's just the best move for us to make.
So what does it cost us right now to do it, and what is the big savings you're talking about?
Well, if we send our stuff to UNMC, we're estimating $30,000 to $40,000 a year to do that testing with them. Right now, we're not seeing the large picture, but we're estimating about a $40,000 cost savings after everything's done by sending our stuff to UNMC.
So on this thing, it says on our agenda sheet, it says that this is going to be absorbed in the current budget, but then it will have to be budgeted for. So what I'm not understanding is if you're already paying for it,
Only
this
if,
is a cost savings, why is there going to be a future cost?
since there's a cost savings of $40,000, if our budget's cut that $40,000, then we'll have to talk about that with the board. But right now, we can absorb this in, and the county in itself will save $40,000 by sending our stuff to UNMC.
This and in the future as well, if,
Yes.
as you said.
Yes, with the current budget,
You're
yes.
not cut. And when you talk about these forensic drug testings, how much of, I mean, if you look at Exhibit Attachment A, there's stuff that I would assume you would just do, not send out. So is this like the first of many going over there, or is this just one piece of the crime lab going over there?
This is just one piece. It's just a drug test. We'll still do the fire debris tests within our lab. We still have, in the separate side of the lab would be fingerprints, our CSI response. So it's just the drug testing portion we're willing to give up and send our stuff to UNMC on.
And is this going to cut staff?
Ultimately, we'll move one chemist over to a CSI 3 and the other to an open position in a quality assurance specialist position.
So how many staff are in the crime lab right now?
Total
15.
15
people currently where it stands right now.
15?
Yes.
And so we're not necessarily reducing staff, we're just moving them to other areas of the crime lab?
Correct.
So where does the cost savings come in?
Well, that's why the big picture was one person's moving to an open spot, the other, well, they're both open spots right now. Through attrition, will we always maintain those spots? I don't know at this point. But the large portion is what it costs to run the forensic drug testing portion. We're not going to be paying for those consumables. We're not paying for the equipment or those ongoing costs of contracts that renew it. And we're paying $50,000, $60,000 for those contracts a year. So the big picture of it, when we look at over the numbers, it's going to still save the county about $40,000 by doing this.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We'll go to Commissioner Kavanaugh, then Rogers. Commissioner Kavanaugh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Commissioner Rogers?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just curious, you got a number?
It's not on yet.
Milford's working on it.
There it goes.
There we
It's
go.
on.
Thank you. So you all got a number that you saying you're gonna be able to absorb this year on this? I mean, or did I miss what the number's gonna be?
Yeah, we'll be able to absorb the costs for the items we send to UNMC in our current budget.
What are you anticipating that number to be?
30 to 40,000.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions or comments on this item or any other consent agenda item? I think you're good. Thank you. Anything else on consent agenda? Otherwise, we'll vote on the entire set. All right. Please vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. That takes us to committees and discussion. Section 6, under finance, we have budget report as presented. And then we go to community services, item D. We have one item, reallocation of 24-25 Visitor Improvement Fund Grant Award for College World Series of Omaha Incorporated. Catherine or Commissioner Kavanaugh, do either one of you have a comment on this?
I'll defer to Catherine, then I have some follow-ups on this.
Sounds good.
Catherine Hall, County Administration. This was just a reallocation of the current year award. College World Series of Omaha, Inc. Received an award by this board earlier this summer, and then their award as proposed, the activities didn't pan out as they had planned, so they've requested a reallocation for that, a new purpose.
Thank you. Commissioner Kavanaugh, did you want to add anything?
Yes. As is indicated, the College World Series, which is the entity that we granted the money to, wasn't able to expend it on the approved project during the period of time. And this happens from time to time on grant awards under this Visitors Improvement Fund. So in the past, we've allowed petitioning agencies with good cause to have a little more time, sometimes to reallocate the grant. These things happen in the course of anybody's business. whether you're dealing with a vendor or you're dealing with an event. Things don't always happen on time, and we recognize that in good faith, people who we grant money to have situations that are beyond their control. They still qualify for the funds. We're just offering them more time and more latitude. You're going to be hearing, I think, another one of these shortly from the Douglas County Historical Society. We've had, like I said, occasional incidents like this in the past. There's ample precedent. They have to make a case, and that has to be kind of a good faith thing. But in this case, I mean, College World Series is probably one of our premier visitor attractions, and they do make a compelling case for the reallocation here, so I would move to approve this.
Motion to approve. Is there a second? Second by Boyle. Any final discussion or comment? Okay. One abstention is noted. Any final comment or question on this item? Otherwise, we'll vote. Okay, please vote.
Motion passes. Commissioner Borgeson abstaining, all other commissioners voting yes.
Thank you. That takes us to item G, Human Resources. We have weekly personnel. Oh.
Is there a rule on abstentions?
She did.
She stated.
She did state her abstention. Yeah. She's on the College World Series board. Yes. Thank you. Human Resources, weekly personnel report from Civil Service as presented. And then we do have one resolution here. Approved medical stop loss proposal renewing coverage with HM Life Insurance Company. Was there any additional comment on this item? Otherwise, what is the will of the board? Motion to approve by Borgeson, second by Rogers. Any final comment? Otherwise, we'll vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. We do have a need for executive session today for personnel, litigation, and contract negotiations. Do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Rogers, second by Friend. Please vote.
Motion passes 6-0.
The board shall now go into executive session for the purpose of personnel, litigation, and contract negotiations. We'll be meeting upstairs in 903. Unless, yeah, 903.
Motion to reconvene and adjourn outside of room 903 by Commissioner Rogers, second by Commissioner Boyle. The motion passed 5-0. Commissioner Kavanaugh was absent. The meeting adjourned at 11:24 a.m.